Hey there, I'm Sophia.
And I'm Kristen. Welcome to Pillow Talk on Hatch Plus, where your head deserves a throne of pillows. Sophia, how are you doing today? I haven't seen you in a while.
I know. I'm doing pretty well. I was traveling last month, and I'm actually traveling again at the end of the week, which has been nice, but I'm doing well. I had a really nice weekend. I spent some time outside in the park, which was very lovely. So, yeah.
We're very lucky to have great parks here in Brooklyn.
I know. Do you have a favorite park in Brooklyn?
I go to Prospect Park almost every single morning for a walk, to look at the birds, to say hi to the dogs.
Yeah.
You know, it starts off my day really nicely every day. What about you? Do you have a favorite park?
I think that Prospect Park is my favorite one in Brooklyn. I live closer to Herbert von King, so I go there more often.
I love that park too. It's cute.
Really sweet. It's cute. But this weekend I went to Prospect because I was like, I need to be I can't see a car.
Yes.
And that is not an experience at HVK. It's a smaller park, so you're surrounded by streets on all sides, whereas Prospect Park you can really go into and get lost and be in the trees and in the nature, which was very nice.
Yeah. I remember reading at one point that Olmsted and Fox, who designed Prospect Park, they also, by the way, designed Central Park, but they felt like Central Park was not a good enough park. You didn't feel like you really escaped when you were there. You could still see all of the high rises around you.
Yeah.
Everything was manicured. It was kind of like Disneyland. Whereas Prospect Park has lots of rugged areas and parts where you really can forget you're in the city.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like there are more winding parts of Prospect where Central Park feels a little bit more like a grid.
Yes.
But yeah, how are you, Kristen? How have you been doing?
I've been pretty good. You know, speaking of travel, you've been on a lot of trips lately. I just got back from a trip down to Baltimore.
Oh, nice.
To meet a friend who I have not seen in over 25 years.
Oh, my gosh.
She's somebody who I went on a study abroad with back in college, and she heard me on a podcast, and she wrote to the podcast and said, hey, I think I know that person. I think I was on a study abroad with her when we were kids. And so I got this letter. It got sent to me, and we started writing back and forth. And I said, if you're ever on the East Coast, she lives on the West Coast now.
Yeah.
I said, if you're ever out here, let me know, and I'll try to meet up with you. And she said, oh, I'm going to be out there for a business trip. And I think Baltimore's only a 2-hour train ride from New York. And I said, you're right, it is. I'll meet you down there. So we met up. And I have to say,
That's
Sophia,
so fun.
I went in a little bit nervous because here's someone I haven't seen in over 25 years. And are we actually going to have anything to talk about? Or is it just going to be, remember that one time? And it actually was that for less than 5% of the time. The rest of it was us just liking each other as people. And so I was just delighted and surprised, and I highly recommend, if you're curious about someone from your past, go ahead, just reach out.
That is so fun. The good part about having not seen someone for 25 years is that you have a bunch of stuff to talk about because you have your whole life to fill them in on.
Yes, yes.
Where did you guys do your study abroad also?
We did our study abroad in England, but in addition to that, she and I and another friend decided just to get Eurorail passes and travel all over Europe when we were done with our study portion. And, okay, this is a little naughty and a little bit illegal, but I'm going to confess how I did my Eurorail. I bought an erasable pen from somebody, and it was illegal apparently at that time in the UK or maybe all over Europe. Erasable pens were not sold there, but I met somebody from the US who said, I'm selling erasable pens. And I'm like, sure, I'll buy that erasable pen. And then my Eurorail pass, I would just write the date. And if the conductor would look at my ticket and say, this looks great, then I would erase it and put in a different date the next time I traveled on the ticket.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I bought a 5-ride pass, but I rode 15 times, I think, during that month.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so public transportation should all be free, so whatever. To me, I'm like, you did the moral thing anyway.
I was a student who had almost no money at the time. So, yeah.
It's good.
Thank you for forgiving me for that.
Of course. Okay, Kristen, I have something to ask you, which is that, and this might, so I think you said a while ago that you're a royal watcher. You're a big student of the royal family.
I am. And I just have to say, as a matter of fact, when I was doing that study abroad in the UK, I did get to see Princess Diana at one point.
I was going to ask.
At a big event, me and like maybe 80,000 other people. Yeah, it wasn't just me and Diana hanging out together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was your passion born of that trip, or was it like the other way around?
You know, I grew up in a household that loved themselves some National Enquirer, some People Weekly magazine, all of that stuff. So I grew up all my childhood consuming royal news and gossip.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all the drama between Charles and Diana and Camilla and all of that stuff. I would read it at the kitchen table as if it was the news while I ate cereal at breakfast time.
That makes sense. I feel like having an interest in the royal family does often, like, it's like because your family or your mom or like everyone was interested in it or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. We liked some celebrity gossip in our house, and celebrity gossip really, it's like a Venn diagram with the royals, because the royals are celebrities that have no choice about being celebrities. They're born into it.
Of course. Yeah. I don't know that much about them, which is like, honestly, I'm really excited for you to tell me about it because I love celebrity gossip. So it's like right up my alley to be interested, but I just haven't taken a night to like hyperfixate and learn everything that there is to be learned. But maybe tonight is that night.
Oh, oh my gosh. It would be such an honor to pique your interest in this world.
Okay, I'm excited.
All right, so how's about we go over a couple of the recent headlines, maybe 2 or 3 of the headlines from the past week. How's that sound?
That sounds perfect to me.
Okay, so gossip number 1. Rumor has been circulating recently that Prince Andrew, that's King Charles's brother, that Prince Andrew once insulted Meghan Markle to Prince Harry's face. Prince Harry is the son of the king. The king has 2 sons, Harry and William. And Harry married Meghan Markle about 8 years ago. I think the world knows that. They had a lot of challenges in the royal family, ended up moving to the States. A lot of the royal members of the family were not especially welcoming to Meghan, but apparently Prince Andrew was among the least welcoming. He insulted Meghan to Harry's face, and according to this new rumor, Harry responded by punching Prince Andrew.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I really like this rumor because I think Andrew is smarmy and terrible. So I'm like, yeah, Harry, punch Prince Andrew, go for it, you know. Neither of them are ever going to be the king. They're both the spare. Like, I kind of like the idea of these spares kind of fisticuffs, you know, doing their thing.
Going at it.
Yeah. That being said, this rumor probably is not true because Harry has now called in his lawyer to dispute this rumor.
I see. But what if it is?
I still like the rumor.
And didn't they say the royal family will throw rumors out in order to deflect about bigger things going on? And they would do that about Harry and Meghan often. So maybe there's even something bigger happening behind this one.
Oh, it's possible. See, I mean, all the different royals have what's called a house. So there's the House of Wales, there's the House of Sussex, which Harry is in. There's all these different houses. And if there is trouble brewing in one house, they'll absolutely plant a story about what's happening in another house. And so yes,
interesting.
You're totally right about that, Sophia. So who knows who planted that story? But Harry doesn't like it. Harry does not want the rumor out there that he's a violent man. And
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want the rumor out there that I was a violent man either. So I understand where he's coming from.
I understand where he's coming from. But I also think a lot of the world doesn't like Prince Andrew. So it's hard not to cheer for this rumor because...
Of course.
Yeah. Andrew's a problem in lots of ways. Yeah.
And it's always, you're defending the love of your life. It's romantic. There's something to it.
Okay. Let's discuss another story that's been circulating. Royal gossip number 2. Okay. There have been reports in recent weeks of Prince Harry's team sharing his schedule, as they say over there, his schedule, with his father, King Charles, which means a reconciliation may be in order. It's, you know, kind of a swapping of schedules like, oh, I don't want any of my engagements to overlap with yours. And so let's coordinate our schedules. Or possibly it's just a way of saying, let's find times to meet and talk throughout the upcoming year. So I think I like this rumor even more than the Harry punching Prince Andrew rumor because I like the idea of father and son have been kind of in a strained relationship over the last year or two. And I like the idea of them deciding, you know what, we don't need to be strained anymore. We're both grown men. We can talk things through. And I like that idea.
Okay, wait. So Harry and Meghan, is it called defected? What did they do when they left the...
They like to use the language that they stepped back from senior royal duties. So the royal family, imagine it kind of like your family owns a company called Royal Plumbing. And when you're born into the family, you have to be a plumber too. And Harry and Meghan said, we don't want to be plumbers. We tried being plumbers. And even though we were great at being plumbers, like this family business is not well managed. We don't feel like we're being protected by Royal Plumbing.
Yes.
So we're going to step back from the duties. We're not saying we're not members of the family anymore. We just don't want to work for the family business at this point. So they stepped back from royal duties, and they initially wanted to kind of be half in, half out, which other members of the royal family have done in the past. So it wasn't unheard of. They probably could have in a different era. But the queen said, no, I want you in or I want you out. And so they're like, all right, we're going to be out then.
Okay. And is that where the rift between Charles and Harry has, like, is that where it was born? Or where did their feud begin? Maybe at birth.
Okay. Absolutely, Harry stepping back, I think, was disappointing to the royal family. They're like, this is what you were born into. This is your duty. Yeah. You can't leave royal plumbing now. We're all plumbers. How can you do this?
There's a ton of leaks.
Yes. So I think that it was disappointing because this is something that is a 1,000-year-old institution. And why would you step back from this? It's duty. And also on top of that Harry and Meghan then revealed to the press all of the hurtful things the royal family did to them.
Yes.
I think the royals just assumed we don't talk to the public about what is wrong here. We just keep our mouths shut about it. Or at least, there's a motto, never complain, never explain. And I think the royal family really wanted Harry to stick by that motto. But the thing is, the royals have never followed that motto themselves.
Yeah.
Like King Charles, he co-authored a book when he was a younger man that just was spilling dirt on his family left and right. And then, I don't know if you remember Princess Diana, King Charles's late wife, but she also collaborated on books, spilling the dirt. And so has Harry's aunt, Sarah Ferguson. She also wrote more than one book spilling the dirt.
Yes.
So this whole family, as much as they say never complain, never explain, they complain and explain a lot.
And it's my understanding that they often have their communications people do it for them, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Like they have people working in the background to explain and complain.
Constantly.
Yeah, right? But they don't like it when it's, I guess, when you're the face of it. But it seems like other people have been the face of the complaining and the explaining before, so.
Yes.
It seems like Harry and Meghan get the short end of the stick often.
They've definitely been used as scapegoats for a lot of things where I'm like, I don't really think they've done anything really bad that I can think of. Other members of the royal family have done cash for titles or accepted bribes, including King Charles. Okay. So the fact that other members of the royal family have done things that are just like, I think that's illegal, I think that's way worse than anything Harry and Meghan have done.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think rich aristocrats are just petty also.
I'm sure they are. I know so.
Yeah. I mean, all people can be petty, but I also think rich out-of-touch royals who don't put toothpaste on their own toothbrushes, they have servants do that. I just don't think they're in touch with real feelings or real communication or real relationships in the same way that the rest of us have to be.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe there will be a bit of a reconciliation between Charles and Harry.
I hope so, because it sounds like that's what they want. And if that's what you want, I would want that for you as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right. So gossip tidbit number 3.
Okay.
The UK press has been celebrating the fact that Prince William brought his daughter Charlotte to cheer for the Lionesses. The Lionesses are the UK soccer team. They just won the Euro Cup for the second year in a row. And all the UK rags are like, yay, isn't Prince William such a great dad? He brought his daughter to cheer for a women's soccer team. Girls cheering for women. Isn't that just really setting the standard? He is dad of the year. How great is he? Okay, but here's my complaint about this, Sophia.
Yeah.
If he were really dad of the year, he would also bring his boys to cheer for women.
Yeah.
He brings his boys to all of these other sporting events, but God forbid his boys actually cheer for women doing something. And I think that's a terrible way of setting an example for your boys. Like, oh, we'll bring the girl to this girl thing. We'll let the girl cheer for this. Shouldn't everybody be cheering when the national team is winning the Euro Cup, regardless of who's on the field?
I would tend to agree. I wonder if it was special father-daughter time, but I still think that the more the merrier in that situation, because famously, the crowds are smaller for women's sports teams.
Yes.
So we got to get as many people there as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. And they shouldn't be seen as the second best thing. If he's got 3 kids in total, only brings 1 to cheer for the women.
Bring them all.
Come on.
It's a field trip.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely don't think you're man of the year for bringing your daughter to a sports game.
No.
Oh, you hung out with your daughter? Good job. That's what you're supposed to do. Sorry.
Well done. You spent 2 hours with very few servants helping to watch your daughter, just you and minimal servants.
I'm glad that you did it, but I'm not giving you a prize.
So those are my 3 gossip royal headlines for the week. And do you feel now, Sophia, that maybe you know a little tiny bit more about the royals and their dynamics and so on?
I definitely do, because I didn't know about any of these specifics. I mostly know about like Harry and Meghan because I've like listened to like podcasts like talk about his book.
Yeah.
And I watched whatever thing they put out on Netflix that was the like documentary about the 2 of them or whatever.
Oh yeah, it was just called Harry and Meghan, and it was a 6-part series. Yes.
Yes, I watched Harry and Meghan. I feel like that is the most like they're the ones that I consume the most media about.
Mm-hmm.
I was obviously following the press around people thinking that Kate Middleton was like missing or had been like replaced by a different woman or something, but it was because she was sick. But I didn't know about any of these specifics.
Yeah, there's always something up with these people. And I think it's just inevitable when you have this very inbred family with too much money and not enough to do. There's just going to be drama all the time.
Literally. It's like going to school together or something.
Yes.
I was going to ask if you had like a moment that you feel like was like the most like memorable like story or like the one that you've been like the most invested in during your time as a royal watcher. If there's like a specific thing that is like the most, you were the most invested in.
Well, I was very invested in Where is Kate Middleton, which you mentioned earlier, when her press team did a terrible job of communicating to the world where she was for 4 months. She just disappeared off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And that is a bad PR team.
It really is.
Yeah. Your PR team can't just like decide to go on vacation for 4 months and not say anything to the public.
Yeah, it seems like they should have come up with something to say or been smarter about it, because there was that photo that was like
doctored in 32 different ways.
Yeah. Kate posted like from her account. Obviously, I don't assume that she posts her own content, but a photo of her and her kids, and it was like had clearly been like edited or something. And then
it's even worse. William posted it, and then when it turned out that it was edited a lot, he blamed Kate for it.
They said that she likes amateur Photoshop or something. It's like,
hold on, how did William post this, but now Kate's being blamed for it?
And also, like, that woman is not editing her photos. As you said, they have people to put toothpaste on their toothbrushes for them. She's not, like, in Photoshop being like, let me see what I can get going.
Yeah, I was definitely invested in that. That was a hot mess. And, of course, I was into Meghan and Harry's wedding, and that was an event I actually got to attend. So that added
an
extra level for me. And so...
Oh, my gosh, that's so exciting.
It was so exciting. We had somebody in the royal family who was one of our own. She was American.
Yeah.
She was a person of color.
Yeah. It is astounding that you can just like become a princess. That is so crazy.
It is, isn't it? Maybe you and I should find ways to be royalty. Can we get in on this?
She had to give up so much. Like, that's like the takeaway that I feel like I've had from learning about them is I'm like, oh my God, she literally had to give up so much. And like, it's so interesting to me because I think, one, I would not ever want to do that. So, like, I'm like, I think you have to love that person so much, of course. Like, she must love Harry so much to, like, give up all that. But I also think there must be a part of you that likes the idea of, like, being a princess in the way of, like, being that kind of public figure. Like, being able to do all this stuff because she has access to like do philanthropy and all this stuff. And I don't think I'd want to be a royal. They would have a field day with me.
You would be the most popular royal of all time, Sophia. I can see you with a crown right now.
My digital footprint, the thought of like the things that people could pull up of me, like that's the most embarrassing videos online. Like, I don't think I'm fit. I think you'd be better at being a royal than I would.
I think we've already revealed I wouldn't. Sorry about that Eurorail pass, everybody.
You did specifically talk about doing that in the UK, which is tough, but...
Yeah, I think I'm disqualified, and I guess we both are.
Yeah, unfortunately. Okay, Kristen, I'm so happy to have learned all of this, and I feel like it's a perfect place to wrap up now that we've decided whether or not we ourselves could be royals.
Well, on that note then, I think we should just hit the hay, because this has been so fun, and exhaustive details about the royals can be exhausting. So,
yes.
Sweet dreams to you, Sophia.
Same to you, Kristen. Good night.
Good night.